Second level ranger spells from the enhanced list. Level 1, Aid and Tinkle Searing Smite. Level 2, Gust of Wind, Magic Weapon Enhance Ability, Warding Bond. Level 3, Blinding Smite, Meld in Stone, Revivify Tongues, and the 4th, Death Ward and Dominate Beast. Some of these work pretty well. Dominate Beast, of course, sounds pretty cool. There's some other things. Magic Weapon. Look, we don't have to give every class the ability to have a magic weapon. It made sense for the monk class to allow them to count their fists as a weapon because a lot of them will not use other weapons or they don't want to. Rangers, they can get a magic weapon. Again, this is a bit of overkill. Alright, 5th level, Awaken Greater Restoration. Spell Versatility. Finish a long rest, you can replace one spell from the spell casting feature. So again, this is pretty handy for the Rangers. I like that it's similar to the Clerics, who could theoretically replace all of them every day, but a lesser feature. So at least if you're going to sort of make the two things closer together, there is still some difference, some preference for going one way or the other. Spellcasting Focus. You can use Druidic Focus as spellcasting. Again, way to confuse the two. Primeval Awareness. You can focus your awareness through an interconnection of nature. You learn additional spells when you reach certain levels. And the spells are Detect Magic, Speak with Animals, Be Sense, Locate Animals or Plants, Speak with Plants, Locate Creature, 17, Commune with Nature. All in all, pretty good. Alright, now this one's nice. Level 10 replaces Hide in Plain Sight. You can use a bonus action to magically become invisible, along with any equipment that you are wearing or carrying until the start of your next turn. Once you use this feature, you can't use it again until you finish a short or long rest. So this is definitely a nice save your butt kind of maneuver, especially, let's see. Bonus action. Okay, so that's great because Rangers generally have pretty good movement, and with dash, I mean, you can really get yourself away from a lot of trouble. Alright, Ranger Companions. While wandering the wilds, Ranger encounters many sorts of animals. Some you can be friends through animal handling skill or the animal friendship spell. If it's strong enough, they might join you. Ranger has the Beastmaster archetype, can form an even stronger bond, feeling almost like a sibling to the animal. Special type of beast awaits a Beastmaster in the wilds, one whose lineage stretches back to the beginning of the world. Primal beast known as a beast of air or beast of earth. So, no fire and water. Such a creature seeks out this type of companionship that a Beastmaster offers. It's starting to sound a little creepy. Ready for the two of them to battle the imbalances of the natural world. Okay, you decide whether it's a beast of air or earth and determine its appearance. Stories describing primal beasts that mystically change form to align with the spirit of their companion. When a primal beast is met, apart from Beastmaster, takes the form of a regular beast of a challenge rating a quarter or lower, as determined by the DM. So it is a beast of air or earth, better stats, but it appears to be like a house cat or a frog or something. A very, very murderous frog. So then we have a bunch of stats. Now, some of the nice things doesn't provoke opportunity attacks when it flies out of enemy reach. And if your beast has died within the last hour, you can use your action to touch it and expend a spell slot of 1 level or higher. The beast returns to life after 1 minute with all its hit points restored. Not great for fighting, but at least you're not losing your beasts. Alright, so then we have Beasts of Earth. You can charge to do extra slashing damage. Same thing, blah blah blah. As a bonus action, you can command the beast to make its maul attack or hide. Alright, Rogue. Rogue has the shortest entry here. You get the following feature, enhancement to cunning action. You gain an additional way to use your cunning action, carefully aiming your next attack. As a bonus action, give yourself advantage on your next attack roll on the current run. You can use this bonus action only if you haven't moved during this turn. And if you use the bonus action, your speed is 0 until the end of the turn. So, hey, this is pretty good, right? Yeah, it gives you you're basically stuck wherever you are if you use it. But let's say you're behind an enemy, or I don't know, somehow got yourself protected. You got a nice fighter with that shield blocking thing from earlier. This is a great enhancement. Alright, sorcerers. So you gain access to the following spells: Primal Savagery, Grease. Why Grease? Protection from good and evil. Why? Flame Blade, Flame Spear. Sure. Vampiric Touch. Fire Shield. Yeah. Flesh to Stone. Sure. Demi-Plane. Okay. Foresight. Yeah, I don't know. Some of these. Again, why do the sorcerers need the extra spells? They already have a ton of really good ones, and they work well, but Grease? What do you need Grease for? Spell versatility. After you finish a long rest, you can replace one spell from this spell casting feature. Again, nice. Font of Magic options. When you gain the Font of Magic feature, you get access to the following ways to spend your sorcery points. Empowering reserves. When you make an ability check on your turn, you can spend 2 sorcery points to gain advantage on the check. Could be very useful. Imbuing touch. As an action, you can touch one non-magical weapon and spend 2 sorcery points to imbue it with magic for 1 minute. Why? What sorcerer is trying to hit things with the sword? I don't know. These just don't make a lot of sense. I guess if you're going to make somebody else's weapon magic, maybe. Alright. Sorcerer's Fortitude. As an action, you can spend any number of sorcery points to roll a d4 for each point expended. You gain a number of temporary hit points equal to the total rolled. So again, they don't add a heal feature, but you add another damage mitigation in terms of adding more hit points at the top. Why? Not every class needs it. It's better. It makes it more challenging, and it makes other classes need to be more aware of their partners instead of everybody just punching the crap out of everything. Metamagic options. So 3rd level sorcerer features enhances the metamagic. You have the following additional options. When you cast a spell that deals a damage type from the following list, you can spend 1 sorcery point that changes the damage to one of the others listed. So basically the elementals. Very nice. Although you already have Chromatic Orb, do you really... I mean, yeah. I guess a Cone of Lightning is kind of cool. Cone of Acid. Sure, why not? Seeking Spell. When you cast a spell that requires you to make a spell attack or roll that forces a target to make a dexterity saving throw. You can spend 1 sorcery point to ignore the effects of half and 3/4 cover against the target. That's nice. See, now that's a nice use. A nice upgrade and use of a sorcery point. Unerring spell. You can make an attack roll for a spell and miss. You can spend 2 sorcery points to re-roll the attack roll. You must use the result of the second roll. You can use Unerring spell even if you have already used a different metamagic option during the casting of the spell. That's great. I mean, there's so many times that would save you when you really screw up in an essential fight. So all in all, I would say the sorcerer options are pretty good. A couple I don't agree with, but alright. Warlock. This has one of the most egregious quote-unquote enhancements, and we'll get to in a second. Whenever you finish a long rest, you can replace 1 spell you learn from Pact Magic feature with another Warlock spell on the list. So the Warlock spell enhances the Pact Magic. First level, Thunderwave. Second level, Knock. Third level, Animate Dead. Life Transference. Fourth is Greater Invisibility. Phantasmal Killer. Fifth level is Mislead, Modify Memory, Planar Binding, and Teleportation Circle. So, yeah, in general, I have to say these are pretty good additions to the Warlock spell list. Level 6, Create Homunculus. I don't know, that one kind of weirds me out a little bit. Magic Jar. If you have a deal from some sort of evil deity, would they want you to be creating other deities or other beings? I don't know. 7th level, Project Image. Sure. 8th level, Abi Dalzum's Horrid Wilting. Very cool. 9th level, Gate, Shape Change, Weird. Yes, I like all of those. They definitely fit in with the Warlock theme. Okay, Eldritch Invocation options. Level 2. When you choose Eldritch Invocations, you have access to the following options. Level 12, Pact of the Talisman. While someone else is wearing your talisman, you can use your action to teleport to the unoccupied space closest to them, provided the two of you are on the same plane of existence. The wearer of your talisman can do the same thing, using their action to teleport you. Now, that is a great feature. So let's say you got like a rogue or a monk or maybe a ranger. They can sneak into tight spaces. Then as long as they bring your talisman, they can just teleport you right there. That's awesome. Okay, Chainmaster's Fury. As a bonus action, you can command your familiar to make 1 attack. Potentially nice. I don't know, at level 9 though, familiars, maybe if you get like a better and upgraded familiar. But if you're on the starter pack, like your rat gets to attack people, Eldritch Armor. As an action, you can touch a suit of armor that isn't being worn or carried by anyone and instantly don it, provided you aren't wearing armor already. You are proficient with this suit of armor until it's removed. Yeah, thanks a lot, wizards. You know, every single freaking warlock is going to be doing a little shopping, looking at a suit of armor, touch it, and then it's on them, and then walk out. What is the difference between someone stuffing a pair of jeans under their coat at Macy's and this? You're encouraging shoplifting. Everybody in your party is going to hate a warlock even more than they already do. Okay, and just think about going to museums. You've got suits of armor on display. Well, guess what? It's going to be on this guy now. How does that suit of armor, even though you're proficient with it, how would that work with spell casting? So I thought you couldn't have like heavy armor and cast spells. I don't know, something to think about. Eldritch Mind. You have advantage on Constitution saving throws that make you to maintain your concentration on a spell. That's nice. Isn't it usually Wisdom? Interesting. Alright, Far Scribe. I really like this Pact the Tome feature. A new page appears in your Book of Shadows. With your permission, a creature can use its action to write its name on that page, which can contain a number of names equal to your Charisma modifier, minimum of 1. You can cast the Sending spell, targeting a creature whose name is on the page, without using a spell slot, and without using material components. To do so, you must write the message on the page. The target hears the message in their mind, and if the target replies, their message appears on the page rather than in your mind. Writing disappears after 1 minute. An action, you can magically erase the name. Okay, now if I were Warlock, I would absolutely use this feature to screw with people. Now usually, with a Sending spell, people will have to, you have to know them well enough, and you sort of have to agree. All you need is a name. Target a creature whose name is on the page. Well, I guess they have to write their own. So that's a little disappointing. Now that I read it more. But I don't know, I would try it anyways. Like get them drunk at a bar and sort of scribe their name, or like trick them into saying they're signing for groceries or something. And then you could just pretend like you're the voice of God, or you're some spirit that's commanding them to do things. Yes, I would absolutely love to have fun with this feature. All right, Gift of the Protectors for the Pact of the Tome. New page appears. Creature can write its name on it. Charisma modifier, blah, blah, blah. Any creature whose name is on the page is reduced to 0 hit points but not killed outright. The creature magically drops to 1 hit point instead. Once this magic is triggered, no creature can benefit from it until you finish a long rest. So, keeping something from dying, giving it 1 extra try, that's pretty good, and names equal to your charisma modifier. So assuming you get the charisma up to 20, that'd be plus 5. Usually parties are around 5, so if you got a party of 4 or 5, you potentially just saved everybody's butt in a fight. Alright, Investment of the Chain Master. When you cast Find Familiar, you infuse the summoned familiar with a measure of your eldritch power, granting it the following benefits. Familiar gains either flying speed or swimming speed, your choice, of 40 feet. Familiar no longer needs to breathe. Nice. Familiar's weapon attacks are considered magical. Familiar's weapon attacks. Alright, so just their attacks, some guess are saying. If you have like a hawk or something and you're clawing somebody's eyes out, that would be a magical eye clawing attack. If the familiar forces a creature to make a saving throw, it uses your spell save DC. Okay, nice. Protection of the Talisman. Level 9. When the wearer of your talisman makes a saving throw, which they lack proficiency, they can add a d4 to the roll. Okay. It's a nice feature. Not super helpful, but better than nothing. It's like a bless, I guess. Rebuke of the Talisman. When the wearer of your talisman is hit by an attacker you can see within 30 feet, you can use your reaction to deal psychic damage to the attacker equal to your charisma modifier. Kind of but you can push it up to 10 feet away from the talisman's wearer. Now that is a very nice feature. Pact of the Boon option. When you choose your Pact of the Boon feature, the following options are available to you. Your patron gives you a special amulet, a talisman that can aid you or anyone else who wears it when the need is great. They can make an ability check with a skill that they lack proficiency, add D4. Did I just read that? If you lose the talisman, you can perform a 1-hour ceremony to receive a replacement from your patron. This ceremony can be performed during a short or long rest, and it destroys the previous amulet. Talisman turns to ash when you die. So the Warlock actually has a lot of nice upgrades. There's that really dickish armor thing, but in general, I'm very pro. I certainly would let players use these. Alright, Wizard. Almost done, guys. Wizard has access to the following features. Whenever you gain a level, you can replace a cantrip from the Wizard list. New spells, augury, enhanced ability for transmutation, speak with the dead for necromancy, divination, which is divination, obviously. So yeah, I totally agree with these spells. They're very nice. They fit in well. It seems like a wizard should have access to pretty much every spell. All right, now the fighting styles. So this is a little confusing. Martial versatility. Fighter, paladin, and ranger, again, no monk, enhances the fighting style. When you gain a level in a class that has fighting style feature, you can replace a fighting style you know with another one available to your class. This change represents a shift of focus in your martial training and practice, causing you to lose the benefits of one style and gain the benefits of another. I like this, actually. As parties go and people drop in and out of the game, your role can often change. So it's nice to be able to switch it up. I have to say, though, some of these are a little weak. Alright, so the following options are added to the list. Blind fighting. Being unable to see a creature doesn't impose disadvantage on your attack rolls against it, provided the creature isn't hidden from you. Well, if you can't see it, wouldn't it be hidden? Okay, so if you want to play a Zatoichi style fighter, great. You can be the blind fighter that wanders the land and no one suspects you, and then you go murder half a town. I don't know how practical it would be to take that for gameplay. It's very situational, but insofar as role play, it's got a lot of great possibilities. Interception. When a creature you can see hits a target that is within 5 feet of you with an attack, you can use your reaction to reduce the damage to the target by 1d10. You must be wielding a shield or a simple or martial weapon, so you got to have something in your hands, apparently, to use this reaction. I like it. It's basically cutting words for fighters, but it's a nice feature. It gives a lot more play. Now, if you add this to that blocking one from earlier, where you change places with someone and give them temporary AC boost, I could definitely see a lot of roleplay ability. Thrown weapon fighting. You can draw a weapon that has the thrown property as part of the attack you make with the weapon. In addition, when you hit with a range attack using a thrown weapon, you gain a +1 bonus to the damage. Not bad, a nice little extra. Unarmed fighting. Now this one is nice. Your unarmed strike can deal bludgeoning damage equal to 1d6 plus your strength modifier. If you strike with 2 free hands, the d6 becomes a d8. When you successfully start a grapple, you can deal 1d4 bludgeoning damage to the grappled creature. Until the grapple ends, you can also deal damage to the creature whenever you hit it with a melee attack. Alright, this part is great. Like I was saying before in the fighter section, the grapple wrestling mechanics don't really work well. Yes, you should be able to damage people while grappling them instead of just holding them still. I don't have a problem with the lesser damage, a 1d4, but you should still be doing something. You know, it's not like wrestling is an injury-free sport. You know. Now, this is kind of the part that I have a problem with. You can deal bludgeoning damage equal to 1d6 plus your strength modifier. So potentially up to 10, or, well, even more, a d8 if you have two hands free. So the problem I have with this is you've basically replaced a monk. And I believe that these unarmed strikes, a 1d6 and a 1d8, they take place a lot earlier than monks have their strikes do a d6 or a d8. So it seems very unbalanced to me, you know. Or is it something like if you want to play a monk, you should just start off as a fighter and then like dual class after level 1? I don't know. This one, I have to admit, unarmed fighting isn't so great in D&D, unless you're a monk. Just because the damage is so low. But I don't know if this is quite the right way. You don't want to overshadow another class and make it weaker just to try to fix something else. Alright guys, this is the end. This is the end of all of Unearthed Arcana's new class feature variants. So what do you think? Leave a message down below. Do you agree with me? Do you think these are the bee's knees? Do you think that they're all a bunch of garbage? Do any of these appeal to you? Leave a comment down below, give the video a thumbs up, and subscribe, and I'll be back hopefully before too long with another D&D video.